Hey guys, how's it going? So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about my favorite subject, lighting. I'm gonna show you a few lighting patterns and how to use them. So for this video, just to simplify everything, I'm going to focus on just a key light. So I'm just gonna have one light, but I'm gonna show you what one simple light can do to really influence the mood of your scene. Well, the first lighting setup that we're gonna look at is flat lighting. So usually the light will be about eye level to the subject when the light is coming from the same direction as the camera. So if your back is to the light, you're not going to get any interesting shadows. So the image tends to be a little bit flatter and less dynamic in the depth or shape of the light. So flat lighting might be a lighting setup that you could try for makeup tutorials or anything that it's important to not have any shadows on the face. You wanna have a light that completely fills in your face without any shadows. So the next lighting setup that we're gonna talk about is butterfly lighting. The reason it's called butterfly lighting is because of that little butterfly shadow that it does underneath your nose, yeah. But it's insane how it really changes, like especially under your eyes. It's supposed to be like more appealing, so maybe I'm a bit too high here. So I'm gonna go, yeah, a little bit lower so it kind of fills in those shadows underneath your eyes. And we should still have that butterfly light. Yeah, that's good. But basically what you have is you have the camera and the light slightly above, coming at an angle, giving that butterfly shadow just under the nose. And this was really popular back in, you know, old Hollywood movies or the Paramount days. It didn't necessarily create any unflattering shadows and they were perfectly lit from both sides, but still added an interesting dynamic to the face without being too flat. The next one is called the loop light. So the loop light is by moving the light fixture about 20 to 30 degrees from your subject, and this starts to add a little bit more shadows to the face. And loop lighting is a perfect in-between when you don't want to go as dramatic as Rembrandt lighting and not as flat lighting. The next lighting technique that we're going to talk about is Rembrandt lighting, which is honestly probably my personal favorite lighting technique and the one that I'll tend to use, I'd say 90% of the time. Now the difference between Rembrandt lighting, loop lighting, and split lighting, which we'll get into later, Rembrandt lighting is after the Dutch painter Rembrandt and how he used to always draw or, you know, simulate light on his paintings, and it would leave a triangle on the negative side of the face. In order to get this lighting effect, you want to place your light at about a 45-degree angle from your subject and slightly higher up. Ideally, you have about 5 feet away from your light source, and then you'll really get that triangle on the negative side of your face. And so in a lot of the images that you see from movies to photographs, the Rembrandt lighting remains one of the most popular lighting setups. Now the next one is a pretty fun one. The next one is called split lighting. So the fun thing about split lighting is you can really get into the shadows or the mystery of a character. So with split lighting, you place it either on the full left or full right of your subject, and it's going to separate, you know, split the face in two between light and darkness. And what's really fun about this lighting style, even just emotionally speaking, is that it leaves a character in a lot of mystery. So there's split between light and darkness, and as a theme can be used to leave a character in mystery and not exactly understand their motives or what their intention is, can be a very useful lighting technique for you to use. Then we have overhead lighting. Overhead lighting is a really fun type of light. I use it all the time in music videos, feature films, and I think it's great when accompanied with a fill light or a bounce in order to raise those shadows that you're going to get. The top light or overhead light is a light fixture that lies above the actor's head. And if you're able to rig the light onto the ceiling, the fun thing about an overhead light is that it frees up the area for you to film. Then that can be a really interesting setup because it allows you to move your camera in the space. You don't have any C-stands, you don't have any lights, you don't have anything in the way of your scene. And overhead lighting does cause a lot of raccoon eyes. And so this can be used to hide your character or, you know, give them more of a menacing look. And then there's obviously backlighting and silhouette. And so backlighting is when the light goes and cuts your subject out of the background, so adding a shoulder light or a hair light. And silhouette is when your character is completely silhouetted. So the next thing I want to get into is, where do you put your camera? So there's two main positions for you to put the camera. There's the broadside, which is on the light side, which is the same direction that your light is coming in. And then there is shadow side, which is on the other side, which is on the negative side or the shadow side of your subject. I prefer shooting on shadow side as a base starting point because I find that it adds a lot more shape to the subject. And so these are just a few lighting setups for, anyone starting out as a cinematographer, a filmmaker, or just someone wanting to get more knowledgeable about lighting. I think you can really use all of these different lighting techniques in different situations, and you see which one you like the most for what you're shooting. Alright guys, that's it for the video. I hope you guys like this. I really had a lot of fun making this video. If you want to see more lighting tutorials or camera tutorials, please subscribe and like this video. Drop a comment below, let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next video.